What's up, you guys? Ross Sapp, managing editor, Fightful.com, FightfulMMA.com, here for an exclusive on the Fightful MMA and Boxing channel. We have that URL now, Fightful MMA Boxing. Going to try to get that shortened to Fightful MMA, but that was the only option that we had. Going to give you a main event review and a quick results piece on the UFC Argentina show. Obviously, we had NXT TakeOver on the pro wrestling side tonight, so that took priority. We will have a full wrap-up of this show on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern with Showdown Joe and James Lynch. Next weekend, UFC Beijing, Chuck Liddell versus Tito Ortiz as well. James Lynch has you covered there. I'm going to try to make it home from Starrcade in time to see that. Santiago Ponzinibbio, man, he put the pain on Neil Magny. Controlled him from the opening bell until the fourth round. I cannot believe it went that long. I was shocked to see this. Couldn't believe it, man, because early on, Magny got caught with a jab. So the thing is with Magny, it's hard to count him out of any situation. I mean, he's got an 80-inch reach, 6'3". He's been in there with Rafael Dos Anjos, Johnny Hendricks, Carlos Condit, Larkin, even people who weren't as good when he faced him, like Lombard and Gastelum probably wasn't at the level he is now, but he beat Gastelum. He beat Lombard. He beat Hendricks. He beat Condit. He's got wins over these guys. And ever since that 2014, 2015 run, he's had something. He's never lost 2 fights in a row. Isn't in danger of that yet. He will be in his next fight. But Ponzinibbio just put him away, man. Worked at the legs, and that's been a story, a theme of Neil Magny's career. Neil Magny has never really checked leg kicks to the degree in which perhaps he should. And over the past couple of years, we've seen his, I don't want to say his output, his activity decrease. He fought 4 times for the UFC in 2012 on Tough. He fought 3 times in 2013. 5 in 2014, 5 in 2015, 3 in 2016. But these last 2 years, only a couple times. I think that accumulated damage is starting to do a number on him. Ponzinibbio, on the other hand, switched things up, but he didn't have to switch things up that much. He went leg kick. He had that jab working for him. And then deep into the 4th round, he set Magny up with a leg kick, cracked him, and face planted him with a KO. 2 minutes, 36 seconds in. We've got Ponzinibbio now, 7 straight wins. We'll talk about that in a minute. Ponzinibbio just put the pain on Magny. And Magny is the type of guy, I like to call people the Michael Johnsons of the division. That's Magny. Because you just never know who he might beat or who he might get beat by. He might get beat by somebody out of the top 20, or he might beat a top 5 guy. That's just the way that Neil Magny unfolds, his career unfolds. Should this have been stopped earlier? Yeah, I think so. Should Magny's corner have stopped it? Easy for me to say here from my home office in beautiful Ewing, Kentucky, but I'm not the one fighting for double the pay. Neil Magny's trying to get twice the pay. He may have said, do not throw it in no matter what. I don't care what kind of shape my leg's in. I don't know that yet. And it's real hard to kind of, until you hear a coach speak out about this, it's very difficult to say, yeah, sure, he should have just thrown in the towel, they being the corner. As far as what's next for Magny, you're probably getting a guy just out of the top 15 now. I mean, I don't know. Maybe out of the top 15, it's tough to say because they like to do that where a guy in the top 10 coming off a loss gets somebody who's emerging. But I could see him getting Dos Santos or somebody of that nature as well. Somebody who is emerging. Leon Edwards even, that would be a good one. As far as Ponzinibbio goes, well, he's won 7 in a row. He's won 9 of his last 10. He's, I think, 9-2 in the UFC. Has 2 finishes in his last 3 fights. Did beat Perry in his previous fight. But it's time to put him in there against a Kamaru Usman, I think. Ponzinibbio is going to jump probably to number 8, maybe number 7. So you'd be looking at number 7 Ponzinibbio against number 6 Kamaru Usman. I think that's the right fight to make. We will talk about it more on Tuesday. at 2 p.m. Eastern on the FightfulMMA.com podcast. Other results, Ricardo Lamas defeated Darren Elkins. Ricardo Lamas needed that win, and it was impressive, and it was a hell of a finish. Anybody that can put away Darren Elkins like that, oh boy. Johnny Walker, Jesus, with this body type at light heavyweight, 6'5", wrecked Khalil Roundtree. Now, is that a top-level win? No, but you got some blood in this light heavyweight division. Can't wait to talk about that on Tuesday. Also, Ian Heinisch, we spoke to him at Fightful.com. Beating Cesar Ferrara, man. Cesar, who had won 5 of his last 6. His only loss was to Fightful alumni Elias Theodoru in that stretch. You got Marlon Vera maybe putting an end to Guido Canetti in the UFC. You never know what they'll do. I mean, Guido Canetti's one loss. But he's about to turn 39, and the UFC, sometimes they'll just inexplicably cut a guy. Cynthia Calvillo, an emotional win over Poliano Battaglio, a rear naked choke submission, one just under a round in. She missed weight yesterday. She had dealt with the death of her grandmother, which was very emotional to watch her talk about. Mikel Prazeres defeated Fabinski in just over a minute. This was a drubbing. Alexandre Pantoja defeated Ulka Sasaki in about 2 minutes, 15 seconds. And, yeah, I think Sasaki's probably gone. Any flyweight that loses, you're probably gone. And that sucks, man, to go in there and get big league the way that Ulka Sasaki did. And he's been around for a while. Sasaki's been around for 4.5 years now, and you don't realize it. He's 4-5 in the UFC now, probably getting cut. Austin Arnett defeated Humberto Bandone, unanimous decision. Laureano Staropoli defeated Hector Aldana. Heard that fight was good. Have not been able to check it out yet. Jesus Pinedo defeated Devin Powell. And Nad Narimani defeated Anderson Dos Santos. Again, we will have a full wrap-up on Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern, Fightful MMA podcast. Subscribe, leave a thumbs up, comment. You'll be instantly entered to win that signed Chuck Liddell Randy Couture photo ahead of Chuck Liddell's MMA return next week, trying to push those subs up to 1,000. I think we can do that, guys. Thank you, guys. We're out.